Hello and welcome to An Image is Worth 1,000 Words. My name is Rob, and don't forget to check out the rest of my blog posts on my website at robhextall.com.
Hello, my name's Rob, and today we're going to talk about words that get lost in translation. A great example is the Spanish word sobre mesa, that in English is the time that you spend after having lunch still sitting at the table with your family and friends and chatting and maybe playing a game of cards and maybe having a coffee, maybe a second dessert, and you just keep on talking for quite a while. See what I mean? So here's another example. This morning I was having a coffee with my father-in-law and he told me a joke. He has an encyclopedic mind for jokes. And it was quite funny, but if you're not from Victoria, it's not very funny. And obviously, if you translate it into English, it's just never going to be funny. Everything gets lost in translation. So here it is in English. Did you know that Jesus was born in Victoria? Of course he was, because he's Christ and God at the same time. At the same time in Spanish is a la vez. And if you pronounce that a bit differently, a la vez, you get the word that means a person from Álava. And Victoria is the capital of Álava. And that's why this joke is funny. In Spanish. For somebody in the Basque Country. Maybe. Anyway, sorry about that. Let's get on with the article. And here is this week's question. What are your favourite foreign words? Before you start, check that you understand this vocabulary. Pause the video to make sure you understand everything. This week's montage of photos attempts to convey the meaning of some of my favourite non-English words. Using photos is handy because none of these foreign words have a simple one-word translation into my mother tongue. Going clockwise from top left, we have the captivating komorebi from Japanese, the seemingly difficult to translate friolero, or friolera in the case of this photo, and the devilishly difficult sobre mesa. Those last two both being Spanish. This cuts both ways, obviously. Apparently there is no Japanese equivalent of the English verb to jaywalk, to cross the road unlawfully or without regard for approaching traffic. Perhaps because it is much less typical than in the US or in the UK. Strangely, for me at least, after living and driving for nearly 30 years in Spain, it doesn't exist in Spanish either. Another classic example is to dive, which needs a specific word or phrase depending on the context. To jump into the water head first, to swim underwater with breathing equipment, to move to a deeper level underwater, like a submarine, to lose altitude very quickly, like a bird or aeroplane, to fall over deliberately when playing football, and to move suddenly in a specific direction, either to reach an object or to avoid one. And how about to commute, to busk, to stare, and to shoplift? You can look those up in your favourite dictionary. Here goes a list of some of my favourite non-English words that I have come across in Spain and on social media, along with some attempts at explaining their meaning in English. And please excuse my pronunciation. Komorebi, Japanese. This is the visual effect of sunlight shining through the leaves and branches of trees. Friolero, Spanish. An adjective to say that a person is sensitive to the cold. She really feels the cold. sobremesa, Spanish. This is the time after a meal where conversation happens and people perhaps play card games and board games while having a coffee and sweets, all without getting up from the table. Pesado, Spanish. This literally means heavy, but it is often used to describe a person who is not likable because you feel that they are oppressive or tedious. He's a pain in the neck. He's being a pest. They are really annoying. She's a jerk. She's really tedious. Jugaad, Hindi, Urdu and Punjabi. This is a flexible approach to problem solving that uses limited resources in an innovative way, sometimes translated into English as to wing it. Crack, Irish. This word is used to talk about enjoying yourself, being entertained, laughing a lot, and being in good company. The crack was great. It can also mean news or gossip. What's the crack? Sisu, Finnish. A loose translation would be stoic determination, tenacity of purpose, perseverance, and acting rationally in the face of adversity. You might hate doing a particular thing, but the thing has to be done, and so you will do it. Subiye, Lebanese Arabic. This refers to the period of time in the morning when no one else is awake and you have some quiet time to yourself before the household awakes. And last but not least, apapachar, from Mexican Spanish. This fabulous word comes from the Nahuatl word papachoa, a verb used to refer to the actions of massaging or rubbing with love. Think of to hug with your soul and to throw all of your love to someone when they need it most. Hope you liked the list. And I didn't include my favourite Basque word, gau pasa, although nowadays I'm a bit old to properly enjoy what that means. Let's chat about the pictures and those ideas. Number 1. Describe the picture in as much detail as possible. What do you think the people in the pictures are thinking? Number 2. What are some words from your native language that don't have direct translations into English? Number 3. Does the absence of a specific word in one language for a concept present in another language affect how people perceive that concept in their culture? Number 4. How does learning languages shape the way we think and view the world? Number 5. What's the best way to learn new vocabulary? And here's a quick activity for you. Look at this list of words: to commute, to busk, to stare, to shoplift, to jaywalk, and to dive. Write down the meanings for each one, and then write a story using all the words. Thank you for watching. I hope this was useful. Have a great day, a great week, and an absolutely fantastic weekend. Bye!